Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In Monster Strike, let's take a second look at the Evangelion collaboration for 2020. And this time we'll look at the old monsters which got buffs or new forms. And first let's head to the library, that's where the drop monsters are. And then overall, I would say that none of these monsters are amazing. Make them if you want like the memories or if you want to just fill out your spirit crest counts. But anyway, let's go ahead and look. First is the 13th Eva, and then this one I don't recommend because every time you play it you'll get a single drop. And then since the number of plays is limited in the library, I think you can skip this guy. But Water Pierce, no warp, no gravity barrier. If you wanted that combo, you could just use, you could just make Bishamonten, who's also always available. But Bump Combo is upgraded to the Super Pierce Homing 8. That's so-so. Strike Shot is a tackle plus X laser. I think you can skip this guy. Next is Ra plus the 6th Angel. Her also you might want to skip because she's also the single drop per run. But she looks pretty great, so some people might make her just as a fan. But she's Water Bounce with the Null Warp only. She has the AT Field, which will give her Barrier. It's not as good as Lucifer's Barrier for 10,000 damage prevented. This is only about 2,500, but still, it could be good against preemptive attacks like status effects or poison or stuff like that. She also has Laser Stop to add to her defensive capabilities, and then Strike Shot Reducer. Bump Combo's pretty good. It's a Super Homing 12. Those only hit once per shot, but still pretty good damage. And then the Strike Shot is a Speed and Power Up. And then when she stops, she will tackle the nearest enemy and then do the mist wave thing. That's the same as her Transcendent Kai version, so it's a pretty good strike shot, actually. Next is the 10th Angel. This is the evolution version. Light Bounce with Null Block, Null Damage Wall. That's an okay double null, but I feel like I have another character like that. And then this guy is a power type, so he'll be pretty slow. But Blast Bump Combo, that could be a good support ability. And then Strike Shot, it's a point and shoot. He'll extend his arms, which I think was pretty strong actually, last time I checked. Ascension form is maybe more interesting, but again, Light Bounce with the Null Speed Down Wall and the Null Damage Wall. And then Bump Combo is the Super Lock-On Pierce Wave. Power type, so the damage is lower there, but because it is the Super Lock-On Pierce Wave, it's the same strength as the regular Lock-On Pierce Wave, so still decent damage. And then Speed Up. Speed Up is good on any drop monster. And then Strike Shot is the Explosion on first hit. That's decent. Okay, next up is Da Vinci and 10th Angel. Her I might make, more for the memories. I'm a big fan of Da Vinci and her look, but the character's okay too, so I might make her. But Light Pierce with Null Damage Wall, AT Field, and then the Recovery S. Recovery would be easier to use with her because she is Pierce. Bump Combo's not quite as good as Raw, but Super Homing 8. And then Strike Shot, same as before, extends the arms, does pretty good damage. Next up is the 9th Angel. I'm going to make this guy. Part of the reason is because he is a lucky monster this week, but also I think he'd be pretty okay to use. But Dark Bounce with Minesweeper M. Usually with drop monsters you see Flight or the regular Minesweeper, so Minesweeper M is pretty good. AT Field and then Demihume Slayer M. Oftentimes with collaborations, the monsters, the quests that you go into will have Demihumes, so having that Slayer in a variety of different monsters could be good. Bump Combo is the 8-way laser L. Slayer does not go into that, unfortunately. And Strike Shot is a tackle plus toss-up in the air. That's pretty good for set damage. Next up we have Death's Arc plus 9th Angel. And he might be my #1 recommendation here. But he's pretty much like Death's Arc, who's also just a useful monster. Dark Bounce with Null Gravity Barrier and Blast Bump Combo, and then Tackle plus Laser Strike Shot. But he has the AT Field, so a little bit of utility there. And then finally, we have the one base 4-star monster. This is the 6th Angel. but he might be the best of all of these actually. But water bounce with the null magic circle and AT field, and then the number one reason to use him is for his bump combo, which was very upgraded. If you've seen the show, you know what this is. The thing shoots a laser in a circle, and then everything explodes. It looks very cool. But the damage for this bump combo is very increased. So you could use him as a stand-in for the Involute Sphere even. So it might be tempting to give him a hero scroll and the sidekick Ableberry, and then use him to farm the 5-star and under quests. So I'll be making the max luck, or the 90 luck of this guy, I think. And then there is one character who is also repeating, but not in the library. That is in here. It looks like the same 13th Eva here. But if you beat the quest, you actually get Misato. So let's look at her. Fire, Pierce with null gravity barrier, null speed down wall. That could be a useful double null, so might as well make her. And then the recovery S. And then a bump combo is a plasma, which I don't love. And then strike shot is the tackle plus laser, so it's pretty basic, but yeah. Misato might be my favorite character of all of the Evangelion, so it'd be cool to get her. Okay, next, let's look at the Hatcher monsters, which got new forms. And then here, these are the Transcendent Kai versions of the very first Hatcher monsters. So regular Shinji, regular Asuka, regular Day. And we'll look at the first form of a Shinji. This is the water form. Same as before, bounce water with null gravity barrier and null magic circle. But in this form, he picks up the null damage wall. So actually, that's the same triple null as like Jekyll and Hyde. And then when Jekyll and Hyde was new, I used him a lot as a friend, just because that triple null is very useful. And actually, he would be great for Dinah, because with his strike shot, he gets the status recovery. Speed and power up, status recovery, and then heals the chick status, so he could be really good in there. Also, he picks up the bump combo boost, which is like extra 50% damage, so that's very strong. Bump combo is the rebound laser EL4, and then the lock-on super pierce wave. So very nice double bump combo. And then I definitely want to get him the sidekick Ableberry. I used the original Transcendent form to make the max look of Izanami, so lots of memories of this guy. And yeah, I think he has more forms than any character in the game, maybe even more than Zeus, so that's pretty funny. Let's look at the light version next. Pierce with null gravity barrier and minesweeper, same as before, but picks up the null speed down wall, so that will kind of future-proof him a little bit. Minesweeper is upgraded to Super Minesweeper, which is one of the most broken skills in the game. So every stage, he will start out with 4 mines. That's really good. So even in quests where there are no mines, you could suddenly bring them in there and then do some extra damage. So really good, really versatile as well. Bump combos may be his worst thing now, but it's a Super Spread 5 and then the Rampage Laser EL. I wish he had kept his lock-on one-way laser from before. That was perfectly good. Rampage Laser, it takes more time to get out, and it's not as good with a concentrated damage, so I'm going to think more of him as a direct attacker rather than a bump combo attacker. And then Strike Shot is pretty similar to before. Shinji and Kaoru, they'll fly around and then hit characters. But while before, they only toss the spears at the end, this one they'll be tossing spears throughout the entire motion, so that'll be stronger. And then I used them a lot before to do the Fire Temple in order to get Ableberries, that first temple, and they'll still be really good there. Maybe not as good with the bump combos, but better with the direct attacks. And then because they have the AT field, they'll be able to avoid that attack down preemptive attack, so they'll still be very overpowered in there. Okay, next let's look at Rei. And then her, it's a little bit sad. I really liked her Transcendent form. She had the Null Warp, but with the Kai version, she'll lose the Null Warp and then pick up Null Damage Wall and Null Speed Down Wall. But I looked at my box and then I saw that I had enough light hatcher monsters with the no warp, including Lokia, who's almost kind of a clone of Day here. So I took both my drops of Day and then I made her the Transcendent Kai version. But light bounce, super null damage wall, null speed down wall, has the laser stop, and then a recovery M, which is very, very powerful, and then the counter slayer, so that will increase her usability in a variety of elements. Bump combo also really good. This is the lock-on trident laser EL, one of the strongest bump combos in the game, I would say, so she might also want the sidekick Ebelberry. And then I believe the counter slayer will go into that bump combo, so that's very, very strong. And then strike shot, also very nice. She becomes a pierce, and then every teammate that she hits will get attack up, and then also an AT field, so great, great support ability. Okay, and then last we have Asuka Kai, and then she was the very last one that I pulled. She was the one that I kind of wanted the most when the last collaboration came around, and I pulled her like the second to last day or the last day finally, so very happy about that. And I used her a ton, so she's great. And then actually she might be the best character just out of all of the bazillion characters that were released for this Evangelion collaboration, but yeah, very happy to have her. But Fire Bounce with the Null Magic Circle, Null Warp, that's the same as before, but she picks up Minesweeper, which is pretty crazy. It's not Minesweeper M or anything, so that's too bad, but that just means that she can go to more different quests. And then the Null Warp is upgraded to Super Null Warp, so she'll get extra attack there, and then Strike Shot turn Axel. Bump Combo has been upgraded to Super Homing 18, that's crazy, that's like Lorelei status? Maybe not quite that far, but really, really strong. And then the Blast Bump Combo, so she could be good support for other characters too. Also, as a Kai version, her speed type becomes super speed. So when she hits a wall, she'll get the speed up there, which is really, really good for her. Strike Shot for her, unfortunately, I really like the Strike Shot from the old Transcendent form, but that was like a meteor where you didn't have to move, and that was really useful in quests where it was difficult to get around and try to hit everybody. But this one you can just hit everybody without having to move at all. But still, the Strike Shot is really good here. She becomes a Pierce, she gets null everything, and then the more targets she hits, the more turns she will delay those targets. So it's good damage, she can go through all gimmicks, and then she can really slow down guys. And this Strike Shot is very rare. I think like Spider-Man from that old Tsum Tsum collaboration had this, and like nobody else, so really good Strike Shot. Okay, and the next... Oh, I won't talk about the 4-star monsters, but try to get them all. They all got buffs as well, so they're all pretty good. Okay, next, let's talk about the second wave collaboration. A lot of people call this the cosplay series. But here is Kaoru Lucifer, and then he might be the best of this second wave. But Dark Pierce with Null Gravity Barrier and Null Warp, that's the same as before, but Null Warp is upgraded to Super Null Warp, and then has the Strike Shot Reducer. But speaking of his Strike Shot, it's pretty crazy. It's a 16-turn, first tier, Grand Command Strike Shot. I don't think there's ever been a Grand Command Strike Shot earlier, quicker than 24 turns, so this is pretty crazy. But you get everybody moving. But every target that is hit will get the spear, same as before, so that's crazy damage that can kind of really fill a screen. And then, I haven't checked yet, in the old, what was it, the Evolution version? Yeah, the old Evolution version, if they got hit with the spear, chances were very high that they would be paralyzed. It would be cool if it was also the case here in the Transcendent form. But bump combos are the double energy circle, that's decent damage. Same as Gabriel Transcendent, and then Speed Up. So yeah, very, very nice character overall. Okay, next up is Asuka Uriel, and she is Light Bounce with the Super Null Gravity Barrier, Null Block. And that's a very nice double null ability. This last year, that's been really good. Bump combo is the Super Rewind Blaster, which is stronger than it sounds, and then speed up for her as well. Strike Shot also very good. Teammates that she hits will get the speed and power up, and then also do the command Strike Shot. So yeah, great support, but really good Strike Shot on its own as well. I was hoping, and a lot of people were hoping, that she would be Pierce, because then she would be really, really good in Idea. But for Bounce, she'll be good for just, everyday stuff, so still really good. Okay, and then last is Amakusa Rei. Her I don't have. I would like to have her just for collection purposes, but I don't know if I'm going to pull the Hatcher for her. But Water Bounce with Null Warp, that's the same as before, but she picks up Minesweeper M, so that will really increase her versatility. And there's actually been a lot of water monsters which have that double null, so that's kind of suspicious. There might be a high difficulty quest soon with that double null needed. But she is a Blast type, and then Bump Combo is the 8-way Laser EL, and then the Status Recovery Blast. Not the best Bump Combo pair, but yeah, not bad. But Strike Shot, this is like a combination of everything that she had before. But Explosion on every hit, and then she will create the super big AT field around her. This will probably be pretty similar to Solomon's Strike Shot. But yeah, this will block all damage for maybe a set number of turns or a set number of damage, and then it's big enough that it can cover your teammates. And that type of Strike Shot has been pretty powerful and useful in recent quests. I am tempted to pull for her. But yeah, lots and lots of characters. All of them are better than they were before. For somebody that has 0 of them, for somebody that has started playing like within the last couple years, I would say maybe pull all the Hatchers until at least you get all of the 4 stars. But if you wanted some 5 stars, probably the original ones here, the Kai versions. These might be the strongest overall. But yeah, that is a look at all of the monsters here in the 4th Evangelion collaboration. Pretty exciting stuff, and should keep us busy as well. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.